Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be working on a ferry system. Now, if you're familiar with the previous episodes, I wasn't really going to do a ferry system, but I have made a few adjustments off camera, and I'll show that in a minute and talk about that more in depth. But first of all, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and also hit that like button and leave a comment because I love interacting with you guys, and there's all the other information in the description below. So originally, I'm just going to pause it, otherwise it lags. Originally, these river areas were quite rapidy, right? They were kind of like white water. The water was really rushing down the rivers, and it really wasn't I couldn't really work with it, right? So what I had to do was to basically make it more flat and calm water. What I had to do was firstly remove all of the water. So I used this mod down here, which I think comes with the terrain mod, and you can just go like this and then drag down the sea level. So I completely removed that because if I were to terraform while the water was there, it would create tsunamis, and that's just really annoying. So I removed that, and then what I did was I went to this one and see the level of the bay area down here. Basically, all of the areas that the ferry is going to go will be at the same level as the bay. So the ferries will go all the way up to here. So the depth here is the same as down here. And then it goes all the way up to here. So again, this depth is the same depth as down here. So what that does is it makes all of this water through here the same level, and as a result, the water doesn't really rush through. It's not very rocky, so it's quite calm. Now there are still little bits of like rivers connecting, adding in more water to the area. So like for example down here, it does start to get a little bit wild, but I think we can still work with it. But other than that, I'm not going to go much further. Some of the areas are still looking a bit low simply because all of the water hasn't come down just yet. So yeah, some areas do look a little bit low, but yeah, so we just have to work with what we have for now. So the plan is there's going to be, I don't know if I want to do 2 ferry lines or just 1. So there's going to be one that goes down here, and then basically the other one would go along here and then go up this river. So whether or not I want to make it 1 line, I don't know just yet. So I want to go through quickly where I want to put the ferry stations and why. So let's start up here. First of all, obviously, we need to put one here because it is right on the pathway, so that's going to be easy access for them, and it's also going to help facilitate all of these guys up in here as well. Now, I should have extended the water out to here, like the depth, but it does kind of get more steep up here, so I don't think it would look good, because if I kept this level up here, it would be quite a big cliff, kind of a big terrain difference between this level and that level. So I'm just going to leave it here. Then the second one, and then also if I put it there, they can just go along the pedestrian bridge, and then they can get over to here as well. The next one, I was thinking of putting it down here simply because it has the road access and they have the pedestrian bridge already. So it's just going to be really easy for them to get over into here, and it will also help with this big area, which is both office and there's a lot of industrial and some commercial along here as well. So then it comes along, and I was thinking of putting one here, and what I want to do is connect up the ferry station to this pedestrian pathway, and then also do another pedestrian pathway over to here. And by putting it here, it's kind of strategic because it will help facilitate all of these guys here and the future guys in this area, and also this big area as well. So instead of just doing it on one side, I thought, why not utilize this little bit of space, and it should be good. And then we're going to come down here, keeping in mind this is all going to be park space. So I'm going to add one here with another pedestrian bridge connecting straight over. This side I'm not really going to put any, so that's why I'm putting in all the pedestrian bridges. And then maybe one here because this is going to be quite a populous area. And then the last one will be down here. So this is where the harbor is going to be, and this is where all of the tourists are going to stay. So we need one down here, which will probably be one of the larger ones. So it's maybe going to be the end where they can transfer onto the other ferry. But like I said, I don't know if I want one ferry line or two. So anyway, from here, it'll come back across. Now I don't want it to go too close to this big port area because of all the big ships. So I'm going to make it come back along the side, go up here. Now a lot of you guys said, why don't you put a ferry station on here? I'm not going to put it there because this is only for such a small area. So I'm going to put it here. So then it is still close to these guys, and then it'll also help with all of these people in this area. So it'll go here, and then I'm going to put one over here as well in this little shopping area, and I can connect it up right there. Hopefully it might be a little bit tricky because of the pathway, but we'll see what we can do. And then after that, so it'll go here, across there, and then I was thinking I probably should put one over here simply because this is the closest that I can get to the main what's this called, the transport hub, and we do have the direct pedestrian access right here. The only thing is it might take away the look that I'm going for. So like if I put it here, I don't know, I think I'll just do it, and then we'll just deal with that. Yeah, so anyway, they have the pedestrian access again, so that's really easy. And then after that it goes up here. I'm not going to put one there. Come up here. Now I'm either going to put one on this side or that side, whichever side it is. I'll also make a designated pedestrian bridge, and then up here, and it'll end here connecting to this town. So I don't want to overdo it with the ferry stations, so that's why I'm keeping them quite spread out. I don't want to do like one here, then one here, and then like one here, and make it do zigzags all the way across. So I'm trying to spread it out so it's not going to be too cluttered. And also after I've done that, we'll have to check that they can fit underneath all of the bridges, and we have to check the noise pollution and make sure they have enough access and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and plop all of the ferry stations down, and we shall move on to the next part. Okay, so I've placed down all of the ferry terminals that I want to do now. I haven't added in like all of the beautification type things, but first of all, what I need to do before I completely forget is I'm going to need this guy here, the ferry depot. Now, the question is, where do I want to put it? I could just put it down here somewhere. I mean, I could. I think maybe that's a little bit too big. I think I'll put it on this side like this, and like kind of put it in the corner a little bit so it kind of blends in more. Okay, hopefully that's blended in enough. I mean, I have the normal buildings on the front and then the depot at the back, so hopefully that's okay. Now let's get into actually connecting it up. So we're going to need, now I've got to make sure I choose the right one. Ferry pathway, okay? Now, so we're going to start up here. Now after I finish doing the ferry route, we need to make sure that all of the ferry stations have the correct access. So obviously we need car access, and then we also need to make sure that they have very easy pedestrian and cycling access. We also need to check the noise pollution, and we need to check that they fit underneath the bridges easily enough without actually touching and crashing into anything. And then on top of all of that, I'm going to change the ferry to a custom asset, because it's the ordinary ferry, that like the actual ferry vehicle, it is quite high, and so I'm going to go with a ferry that is quite low, and I think it's based off like Amsterdam type canal ferries. Okay, so we have our ferry layout. It does look a little bit windy, but you know what? It's fine. So I'm just going to place down, no, I don't know why it says bus, but yeah, I don't know why that says bus, but hopefully it is all good. So we'll just go through, select them all, and then I'm going to change the vehicle type. Okay, so now that I've placed down the first one, I want to check out the ferry. So this is the ordinary one. I also have this one, which I don't really like the look of. It looks a little bit too weird. And then we have this one, which is for cars as well, but obviously I don't want that one. It's quite large, so I'm going to go with this one. It does go quite slow, so 50 kilometers per hour. Capacity, I'm going to up the capacity to, I think, 100. And yeah, so it's quite small. It should fit underneath all of the bridges, and it might look a little bit weird out here because it's such open waters, but you know what, life goes on. But it will be quite suitable for going up all of the rivers and under bridges and things like that. So if I just go back down here, I shouldn't have got out of it. It's this one here. Let's have a look again. So is that the name of it? Spree. Yes, that is the name of it. So let's go back into it again. Damn, come on, where is it? There it is. This one. Okay, close that. Select type, so obviously we want that one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now they should all come out of the depot here. So there they are. Like, look at them. They're really, really small, right? But it's fine. I think it's fine, honestly. And I was thinking maybe I should update this one to be kind of like that, because there is going to be double capacity, because there's going to be this line that comes down here as well and connects to both of them. So I should probably update that. So this guy, is it okay? I think it looks okay. I mean, yeah, it's fine. So this guy needs some water. Does it have power? I guess it does have power. So just quickly, I'll show you guys some of the other stations. So you saw this one, which is kind of nothing at the moment. There's also this one here, which is nothing. So I'm not going to update the areas that have no buildings in them yet. So we'll do that when I actually fill in the surrounding areas. We have this one here. So they have a bit of a steep walkway up, and it looks like the trees are in the actual pathway, but they're not. It's only when you zoom out. So like I said, I wanted this one here because it's direct access to basically the city and the big transport hub and the main pathways. So this one will be quite useful. Then we come over here, we have this guy down here. So I had to move the pathway down and make it go over the road a little bit, and I banned vehicles on here, and they also can't park, so just in case I don't want them to get in the way. Then we have this one over here, which is nothing at the moment. And then these two over here, which you saw, which will be the tourist area and the harbor, the cruise ship terminal harbor down there. And then we come up here, we have this guy and this guy. There's another one there and this one up there. So we need to do that ferry line, and then after that we'll make sure that they don't actually touch any of the bridges. Okay, that's done. Let's just change it to greenish color. Select type. So we don't want all of those. Excuse me. We want that one. So we'll remove those. Select type. So we want that one. Let's add vehicle. Excuse me. Remove. Select type. This guy. Yes. We'll add in a whole lot of those. That's good. We'll have to see if we need more in the end. I thought I changed the color. Did I not change the color? Oh well, doesn't matter. Okay, so now that they're kind of working, is there a lot of people coming? Not really. Maybe it'll take some time before they get into it, but let's start up here and work our way down, and we need to check all of the bridges. So obviously this one is fine. Come around here, this one's fine. It goes straight underneath, and since it is quite low, we can bring this bridge back down, because I did raise it up, but we can bring that back down like that. Come around here, so obviously this big red bridge is fine. Come down here, that's fine. This part here, okay, let's speed it up, and we can just check and make sure that they don't touch. They shouldn't touch these pillars, it should be fine, but I just want to check out the height difference between them. So come on little guy. This bridge is quite busy. It's good. I like to see a nice busy bridge, lots of people walking across as well. So let's just go in. Oh, look at that, lots of room, so that's great. Good. I wonder if I could actually do the normal ferry. It doesn't really matter. This one is different, it's unique from doing the normal one. Let's go over here. So these ones out here are fine. Through here. Now, this is where it's going to start getting close. But we need one to come this way, so they need to hurry up, please. Okay, that first one is fine. These ones will be fine as well because, yeah, it is quite small. The only concern I have is the terminal is quite high, but you know what? It's such a small thing, but I know you guys are gonna complain about that. Now this one over here should be fine. It's close. Oh, actually, all the pillars are in the way, so let's open that up. Can I just drag it over a little bit? I can. That's good. Can I get it again? I might have to delete it and do it again. There we go. That should be better. It's a little bit close to the side, but yeah, it should be fine. Now this one up here, a little bit, actually that might be the best option. It just misses that pillar, just misses that pillar. Now the height of this will need to go up a little bit. Let's go up just a tiny little bit, just to be sure. So that should be fine. This one down here is a little bit low. I'll bring that up just a little bit because it is. I mean, the ferry is quite low. It's quite small, so that should fit just as long as it doesn't go through a pillar. Now this part, easy. I think it's fine. I think it should go around that pillar there. Comes up here. Oh, has no power, so let me just add some power to you. Cha-ching, there we go. And that should be it. Now I'll just press play so I can actually get going. But I want to make it free for them to use. This is why I don't really make much money, because everything's free. Prefer ferries. There we go. I don't think I can make ferries free, but I can make public transport free, whatever it is. In there somewhere. Free public transport, there it is. Good. And I think that's generally it. So I'm just going to fill in some of the stations, make them look a little bit nicer. And then I'll give you guys a bit of a close-up look of everything. And even though it's not really done, the whole city, yeah, it's not really done yet. But yeah, I'll give you guys a close look, and I think that's basically it. The only thing I might need to change in the future is I'll need to add in more ferries, depending on if it becomes really busy. Like if I go down here, let's see how busy is it. It's not too busy. Actually, if I just click on this show line details, 1933 people, that's how many's on. Yeah, there's not really many people waiting, so there's like 12 on this one, 11 on this one. So yeah, that's generally it, guys. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the nice ride throughout Samivostok on the river. Bye, guys.